Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. We are going to watch a post-qualifying press conference. Just don't forget to like the video, comment it, and subscribe to the channel.
A very warm welcome to the top three qualifiers for the FIA Formula One Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. In third place, Carlos Sainz. In second place, Oscar Piastri, and taking his 8th pole position of the season and his first here in Abu Dhabi, our pole sitter, Lando Norris. Brilliant job, Lando. Very well done to you. Just how sweet was that final lap of Q3?
It was very good. Yeah. Quali was a bit of a struggle, honestly. We just expected probably to be a little bit better than what we were. You know, the whole of the weekend so far has been quite straightforward from our side. It just seems like everyone caught up a lot come qualifying, and we had to start pushing a lot more. You know, so. It was a good lap. It was not the cleanest, but sometimes that when you're close enough to the edge and it's just a little bit untidy, sometimes it's actually quite a nice place to be. So I had a couple of snaps and had a big snap into 9, the high speed. So I can't say. I just made a mistake, you know. So that hurt me a touch, but otherwise was a nice lap. I put the rest of it together pretty well, and. Just not an easy circuit to do. We had a bit to gain in quali because Max was looking a little bit quicker than us through the most part of it. So I knew I had to pull something out.
What about the conditions? Tell us about the wind, how that was affecting the car, even the track conditions themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the track's been quick all weekend. You know, comparing to last year, we're quite a bit quicker. The cars are probably part of it too, but the track's been good. The wind's been fairly consistent, obviously. Rises through the day and dies away a bit through the nighttime, but it has an effect, but it's been quite consistent the whole weekend. So once you understand it, you know where you can push and use the wind, and where you have to be a bit more on the cautious side and try and avoid it.
Let's throw it forward to the Grand Prix itself. Excuse me. You're carrying a little more downforce than some of your rivals. Do you think that'll make you a little bit vulnerable along the straights?
I wouldn't be so sure about that, but if that's your analysis, then we'll see. I think on a day like today with DRS and things is probably not our biggest strength. I think come the race, things even out a little bit more. So potentially we knew we'd be a little bit on the back foot today with straight line speed. We're hoping tomorrow it kind of comes back to us, because comparing to Ferrari, we're a little bit down, and comparing to Red Bull, we're quite a chunk down. So it's not necessarily just downforce. You know, we're at the lowest of what our wing can provide. The next step for us is too big. So maybe, other people are just in more of a sweet spot and more in an optimal range this weekend than we are ourselves. But the car's been great all weekend. It's performing well, and we'll make sure it does the same tomorrow.
As you say, the car's been performing all weekend. It's a McLaren front row, just with one eye on the Constructors' Championship. Now, how much easier does this front row lockout make the job tomorrow?
I feel like Zach's probably more nervous that we're first and second than if we were not. So it gives us good knowledge that the car is great, of course. I think we've both been driving well this weekend, and we knew the pressure was on from ourselves. So we've both performed well. We both got everything out of the car. But this is a long race, and many things can happen, you know. So we're definitely not going to get ahead of ourselves. We know we have a little bit of a gap, and in terms of positions, we're in a much more fortunate position than what Ferrari are. But he's going to be putting up a good fight for his final race with Ferrari. You know, he's going to want to prove his point, and I'm excited to battle.
You know, it's why I'm not on pole. So, probably wish I had that one again.
And were your preparations for that second lap affected by the uncertainty to do with the track limits on your first run of Q3?
It didn't help, but I knew starting the lap or even leaving the pits that lap was at least on the board again. But I knew that I would need more to keep at least that position, or obviously want to go for pole. So I knew I needed more anyway. And I found a bit more, just not quite enough. So Yeah, it wasn't. It was a slightly stressful few minutes. I was also, I didn't really dwell on it too much, but I did think I was in. Clearly, it was so close that they've probably given me the benefit of the doubt. It wasn't exactly ideal.
Now, there's been a lot of speculation coming into this final weekend as to who's going to have the faster car, McLaren or Ferrari. Are you surprised with the pace of your car? Were you expecting a front row lockout?
Not necessarily. I think it is extremely tight, and not just with the teams we expected it to be tight with. You've got a pretty jumbled up grid the whole way through. Haas have looked very quick at points. Obviously, Hulkenberg's on the second row, and I think our pace through practice we almost felt it was a bit too good to be true, and I think when we got to qualifying, that was potentially the case a bit. I think there's no questioning that we've clearly had a strong car and the strongest this weekend, but it was all coming a little bit too easily to believe in practice. So, we still had our work cut out for us. Q1 and Q2 weren't as straightforward as we would have liked as a team, I think. But Q3 was a little bit more comfortable again, and a 1-2 was nice, but I definitely didn't think this was guaranteed going into the week.
All right. Oscar, thank you for that. Very well done today. Carlos, if we could come to you now, your best qualifying result here in Abu Dhabi. It looked like a great session for you. Tell us about the car. Tell us about that last lap.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the interruption. I know that you don't like interrupting the video by my side. I'm sorry for that, but I must do it. Just don't forget to like the video, comment it, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for your help, for your support on this channel. And one more thing, I want to say congratulations to the McLaren for winning the Constructor Championship. I believe they will win tomorrow the Constructor Championship. It's impossible for the Ferrari, let's say. Let's continue with this answer. I'm sorry one more time.
I felt like I did some very good, very clean laps in Q1 and Q2. Probably finding the limit of the car very early on in qualifying, and then giving myself and giving maybe the team a bit of hope that we could fight for pole position. But I think as soon as these two guys started putting, I think, a good lap together in Q3, I think my lap was pretty good. Obviously, there's always little things here and there that you would like to change, but when Lando talks about that he didn't quite nail turn 9 or he did a small mistake, then you realize that it's the same for everyone. And we've been all weekend 3 to 4 tenths behind. I'll take being 2 tenths off in quali, and hopefully we can match the race pace and get in the fight tomorrow.
Have you been surprised by McLaren's pace so far this weekend?
I think realistically, once you look in detail the layout of the track, I think I kind of understand that they are a bit quicker. If all the track was long straights and turn 6 and 7s, then I think we would be flying around here. But unfortunately, we have turn 1s, we have turn 9s, where the McLaren is a clear step ahead of us, like we saw in Qatar. They're simply a better package for this circuit. It's unfortunate, that the last 2 races of the season, it's come to tracks where maybe the McLaren is just that last 2 tenths quicker, but at the same time, that's how the season goes. And if that's the case, we should have done our homework earlier.
Look, final one, Charles's grid penalty. You're starting P3 behind a McLaren front row lockout. Just how difficult is the job now with regards to the Constructors' Championship?
Yeah, I think it was already extremely difficult. It was, like I said, a bit of a mission impossible already before the weekend started. Then we arrived to FP1 and Charles' battery died before running, and temp grid penalty obviously was a huge shock, a huge blow. On top of that, you get the Q2 situation for Charles. It's just makes things obviously a lot more difficult, but at the same time, it is very likely that even in a perfect weekend where we both nail laps in Q3 and we even fight for the win, these 2 guys are still up there. So it was always going to be difficult. It's just made our life even more difficult. But until the checkered flag comes down tomorrow, anything can happen, and I'm going to keep fighting for whatever comes. And I'm sure Charles from the back will push flat out to get every single point available and see what happens with the McLarens.
Well done, Carlos. Thank you for that. Let's now open this to the floor. Name and publication, please. Alex.
Alex Kalinauckas, Autosport. Question to Oscar, please. Just about that, the final run in Q3. Did you have to take a bit more margin at turn one, given what had happened on the first run? And just how hard was the challenge, bearing in mind, like Carlos said, that's where your car is good? Thank you.
I didn't have to take more margin, but I did by accident. I lost a decent amount of time through turn one, which was a shame. But I obviously had in mind that even though the lap got given back, I obviously knew it was incredibly close. I probably gave a little bit more margin than I wanted to. So that was a bit of a shame. I think if it hadn't have been taken away, then given back, maybe I would have been a little bit more aggressive through there. But that's how it is. It's the same rules for everybody. So, I'll just take P2.
Okay, thank you. Who's next? Luke.
From the Athletic. Carlos, a question for you. Obviously, it's an emotional weekend, I guess, for you as a Ferrari driver. I know there's that focus on the constructors, but how do you think it's going to feel tomorrow waking up as a Ferrari driver for the last time and putting on the famous red suit for that final time?
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to feel. I can only tell you how it feels up until now, and I can tell you, the level of focus of the whole team, and my level of focus has been so high to try and execute a perfect weekend and try to win the race tomorrow and try to be on pole today, that honestly I haven't had much time to be emotional, apart from obviously little details that the team is doing so far to make me feel at home and feel proud of this last race with the team. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure tomorrow before the race or after the race, it will start to sink in, it will start to hit me a bit, and it will get emotional. But the truth is that up until now, I've had no time for that, and we're all so focused, and we all want that constructors or that last win together. You know that you have no time to get too emotional, but tomorrow I will for sure.
Thank you. Next one, Matt.
Matt Coach from Speed Cafe. To both McLaren drivers, do you dare to dream about the title? And I guess specifically, been at the lows there. Will it feel a little bit extra special having ridden that roller coaster the whole way through?
The difference for me probably is just being at the team for a longer period. Oscar's pretty fortunate not to go through those first few years that we've had. I mean, there's some very fun years. Yeah, that's true. We didn't start off great last year, but I've had some great times. Started off with this guy, and we made progress, step back, made progress, step back. We just nothing ever clicked really, and never continued to grow. And it was hard just to break that barrier of getting close to Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull, because for such a long period of time, they've been the guys who have dominated Formula One. Now, not only have we broken that barrier over the last year and a half, we've risen to the top of it and to become the best team and leading and hopefully to go on to win. I don't think simply from the outside people would give McLaren and my team enough credit for what they've done, what they've turned around, because it's not an easy sport. It may look simple at times from the outside and things like that, and even I think sometimes things are more simple than what they look. But to go from where we were to outdo, Ferrari have turned things around a lot over the last couple of years, and to catch Red Bull, which I've said a couple of times, and Max, who 1 year ago dominated every race. For that to flip around so much, we can only just give a hats off to the whole team, because a lot of things have changed. People have come and gone, and Andrea has done an incredible job. So to be part of this whole story, to be part of it, not long after Zach joined McLaren and started changing things and making McLaren into a slightly more happy place than it was prior. I've been, along the journey with Zach, and we've gone through a lot of things together, highs and lows and emotional times. So it definitely has been a longer rise, to get to where we are, which has been fun, and I've really loved it and enjoyed it. And I think the thing I'll be proudest and most happy about is the fact I'm still here, the fact I'm still in Papaya, because I believed in the team for many years. I had opportunities to not be in Papaya and to maybe go on and win races at an earlier stage in my career and those kind of things. I had those opportunities, but I believed and I wanted to simply do it with McLaren. I wanted to do it with the guys who gave me my opportunity in Formula One. And as much as we didn't think it was going to be possible this year, we were hoping for next year, and next year was our, kind of inline target, on paper target. The fact we're doing it this year is an even bigger achievement. So, job not done, and Andrea will be happy that I say it, but I'm proud to be on this journey, to have been on it with McLaren for so many years, and I'll be very happy when hopefully it's all finished.
Anything you want to add, or should we just Oscar and Carlos, please?
I mean, yes, it means a lot. I think when you join F1, as a fan, I think it can be very difficult to understand, why the Constructors' Championship means so much. And, it's not just the financial benefits that the team gets. Of course, that is a big bonus, but I think the pride of so many people, and I think that's what people struggle to understand, is what I struggled to understand before I joined F1, is just how many people preparing 2 race cars for Lando and I, and giving everything, all their skills, all their time, sacrificing things in their life, pushing through things in their life just to see us succeed. And I think until you're actually involved in that, it's very, very difficult to understand it. I think, probably there's a bit more attention on it now because it's been such a tight fight. I don't want to say it's McLaren because I'm part of the team, but, it's something we haven't achieved as a team for 25 years. And I feel like, we've always had a good fan base through even the tough years. I think we have a lot of people wanting us to do well. And we're just someone new compared to the last 15 years. So I think that's probably why there's a bit more attention on it, but it does mean a lot, even to us as drivers.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think a person that is not fully or doesn't fully buy the Constructors' Championship, the moment you visit a Formula One factory, you understand why it exists and why it's so important. Because when you visit a Formula One factory and you see more than 1,000 people working for just us drivers, to take the car and make it perform, we are just the last bit of the chain, that there is behind all these teams, and every single head of every single guy from the team counts in that difference, and it's driver's job and team principal's job and main engineer's job to make these people feel like it counts, so every single one can make 100th of a difference in the team, and those hundreds add up to the last 10th that maybe made McLaren quicker today, and that is where all that last difference is, and why it's so important. On top of that, I think Formula One is in a good space right now with a level playing field between driver being important, but also the team. I think teams are given more equal opportunity to fight, and it's not only all about budget. It's the people, it's the infrastructure that you can have, that you can achieve, and you can see it with McLaren, you can see it with the top 4 teams. Right now we are all within a couple of tenths of one another, and it makes the driver championship more fair because the driver can make more of a difference, but also the Constructors' Championship more fair. And it's a shame in a way that this is resetting in 26, because I feel like Formula One is for once in a very, very long time, achieving a level playing field among all teams and all drivers to show who is the best team, but who is also the best driver. And yeah, I think it's a bit of a pity.
Thank you. Next one.
Yeah. Adrián Rodríguez Zuber, Agencia F. Question for Carlos. Obviously, you would like to finish this 4 years with Ferrari with a win, but would you sign up to repeat today's position tomorrow?
No, I wouldn't sign up for a P3 because I know we're capable of more. And as Lando said, I also have a bit less to lose tomorrow. We know we need to do more than what we did today, and we're going to go for it tomorrow because, one, we need it for the constructors. If we want to have a shot at winning, we need to win tomorrow. One of the McLarens to have an issue and Charles to get back in the points. And two, I also want to win. This might be my last chance at winning in a few years, and my last chance of being on a podium for a few years. And I want to make sure I leave the weekend with no regrets and with never feeling that I could have, not given myself that chance. So, I feel like I put myself in a good position for tomorrow. But tomorrow we go again.
Yeah, we are at the end of the last for the season post-qualifying press conference. Let's hope, as I said, let's hope that things happens what Carlos Sainz said. It will be an interesting race. Just don't forget to like the video, comment and subscribe to the channel.